Hey everybody, welcome to The War. I'm Jack Reeder with Future Pastimes, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the Cosmic Encounter Alien of the Month for November 2025. And this is an alien that was designed by Eric Lang, the renowned board game designer, Blood Rage, and Rising Sun, and Cthulhu, Death May Die. Longtime Cosmic Encounter fan, good friends with Kevin Wilson as well. So Kevin asked him to design an alien for the first expansion that Fantasy Flight put out for Cosmic Encounter, and this was the result. So the alien of the month for this month is going to be Genius. And Genius is an interesting alien because it is an alternate win condition alien. And it's not just an alien like TikTok, which is waiting for a certain effect to trigger, but doesn't really do anything. This one has some agency over trying to achieve its alternate win. So let's take a look at what Genius does. You have the power to outwit. So as a main player or ally, whenever you gain a foreign colony as a result of winning an encounter, you may use this power to instead draw one card from the deck for each ship you have in the encounter and then send your ships in the encounter back to your other colonies. And then, at the start of any turn, if you have 20 or more cards in your hand, you immediately win the game. You may still win via the normal method. So, Genius is all about trying to get as many cards as they can. And that means if they're ever going to be allying with the defense, they're probably going to be taking cards as rewards. They will probably be playing negotiates quite a bit in order to take a lot of compensation. And then they have this added thing where if they're going to get a foreign colony, they can instead get cards, which means they're going to be trying to put as many of their ships into those encounters as they can. So now Genius definitely has some weaknesses. That whole compensation thing goes both ways. So if somebody wants to take Genius down a notch, they just negotiate when they've got their own 3 or 4, however many ships in the encounter, and then take those cards away. Of course, if you're playing with the reward deck and you've got that hand zap in there, that's something that Genius is not too keen about seeing played, and they're going to definitely be the most likely target of that effect. But these are things that don't necessarily happen a lot, and Genius is able to work around that. And it may mean that the game is going to go a little bit longer, but it's not as hard as you think sometimes to get to 20 cards. It helps if, one, that's your plan and you're going after it. There's sometimes people are like, I've got so many cards, I don't even know how this happened. Allying with the defense is a great way to do it, but you're risking your ships, and of course the defense knows that they're helping you to get closer to your win condition, and maybe they're like, how many cards do you have? And like, oh, no, I'm not going to do it now. So yeah, and of course Genius has to play cards. You got to play cards in order to gain cards, so it's not easy to do. And I've got this, I've done sort of my overall Cosmic Encounter bucket list, win the game as Genius. I have done it once. I've played Genius, I think probably 4, maybe 5 times over the course of many games since this expansion came out, and only have won once. Only won once with the alternate win condition. I did win as Genius through a different method of the game. I remember winning and remarking, this is so strange, winning as Genius, but not through the alternate win condition, which is, again, it's not easy to do. But it's certainly an interesting challenge, and I think it's fun. I think it's a fun way to approach playing Cosmic Encounter is by trying to do something that you normally don't do in the game. And that's one of the reasons why I love the alternate win condition aliens, many of them anyway, is because it does force you to play the game in a slightly unusual or a very unusual way, which I think is great, and I love that idea. Now, before this expansion even came out, we had come up with this idea for alternate win conditions, and it was just these cards. So it wasn't aliens that had them, it was just a separate module that we were playing with. And we tried that out in a couple of ways. One was there was just a single card that everybody was following, and that was the only way to win the game. So that had an interesting idea. Another was where everyone had a unique one, and it was face up. And then another one was everyone had one, and it was face down. So you knew what your alternate win condition was, but nobody else did. And so it was a variety of interesting effects. So I love that. I will probably make up a nice set of those cards and maybe post those somewhere so people can print those out. It is a fun way to play the game. But now we have enough alternate win condition aliens in all of Cosmic Encounter where you can do a thing where everybody has one of those. And I, in fact, like to play double aliens. So you'll have one is your alternate win condition alien, and another one is just a regular alien. And sometimes you can get some synergy. So if you've got like an alien like Barbarian, which is going to plunder somebody's hand, that's a great fit for this one. Or something like Glutton or Remora, who is going to be getting a lot more cards. So it's kind of fun to purposely do those matchups and see what sorts of things you can do. And it's real race to see who can get their win condition out first. So let me know in the comments. I know that the alternate win conditions, as a whole, are a little polarizing. So there's some people that just absolutely hate them and they don't like any of the alt-win aliens. And in some cases, there are some people who are like, yeah, I like some of them, but other ones are just not for me. And in some cases, it's because of how challenging some of them can be in order to get that alternate win. It is a little bit of a task, and it may be the sort of thing where you're like, well, I'm not used to playing it in a different way, and that maybe doesn't appeal to you. So let me know in the comments, again, how do you feel about just about alternate win aliens in general? How do you feel about Genius? Again, I love this. It's a very original design. That's what appeals to me a lot in Cosmic Encounter. And you got to keep in mind that by the time even when Fantasy Flight started publishing it, I already had the warp. It already had so many aliens. And so the idea of homebrew aliens has been around for decades before Fantasy Flight published the game. So that idea was out there, and I'd seen a lot of terrible designs, and I'd done quite a few terrible designs of my own. And so anytime I see an interesting and elegant original idea, it gets me very excited for Cosmic Encounter. So that's it for this one, everyone. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.